This is part 2 of a video that I meant to do all in one yesterday, but got interrupted by an unexpected visitor who stayed for ages and ages and ages, but it was lovely to see him and catch up. So I thought I would do the second part today, just get this second little card done. I'm just going to bear with me as I do check my volume. Second part today. Okay, so that's my volume seems okay. Okay, so as with yesterday's card is this one that we made card with the Garden Walk Designer Series paper and the really cute Hexagon, Heartfelt Hexagon bundle. So the punch and the stamp set for our cute little sentiment there. So the second half of that is obviously I was going to use the rest of the Designer Series paper to make just a simple little bookbind card. So this is the original one with the Poppy Parade and Lost Lagoon cardstock, and the second one I'm making, or the one that matches yesterday's card, is Blue Lagoon and white. Now, in the YouTube video from yesterday are the measurements for both cards in the description. I'll pop them up on Facebook as well. I don't think I got the chance to do it yesterday with all the visitors and things running around, but we'll get to, I'll pop that in Facebook as well, just so you've got the measurements. But we'll go through them quickly here. So this is just a cute little bookbind card. You've seen me do them many, many times before. It's got various layers. Okay, so we've got a 11-inch card base that's been scored at 4 inches and 5.5, and it's 4 inches high. So 11 by 4, scored at 4 and 5.5, and that little 1.5 inches there is the little spine of the book, so that we seal that down, and that is the basic fold here. As I say, you've seen me do these a million times. So we've got a little 1.5 inch wide section there and a little 4-inch square section there. So they're the layers that we're matching up. So what we tend to do first is layer everything up on the outside. So matching, because I'm sticking to my colour scheme from before, we've got a white layer here. I'm going to just add that to the card base. Hopefully my glue, will work. Feels like it's on its last legs. So we'll pop that there. Got a few people jumping on. Jump on, say hi. A few chats there. Hi, everyone. It's very early for me, I realise, but we woke up early this morning because it's quite windy outside. And Ruby, our dog, doesn't like the wind, so she wasn't at all happy. So she woke us up, kept us awake. I woke up early and fed her, but she didn't want to go back to sleep afterwards. Okay, so this is a piece of the cardstock left over from the 2 sheets that we used the first time, and it is basically, so the white is 3 3/4 square, and the leftover piece of the Designer Series paper would be roughly, what was it? That's 3/4. That would be roughly about 3.5 square. So that just goes on there. So that's just a piece that was left from one of the sheets we used yesterday. Then on this more narrow side, we've got a piece of white. So this is 3 3/4 by 1.25 inches. And then, as I say, we're another piece of yesterday's Designer Series paper on top of that. So it's really nice, this paper. It's got the colours on one side and then sort of a tone on tone on the other side, so you can match them quite well. So that's a cute little card. Okay, so now we're going to seal down our spine and pop our ribbon on. One occasion that I don't actually have to be reminded to do the ribbon is when I'm making a bookbind card. So it's a fairly fundamental part. So I'm going to grab my double-sided tape and I'm going to just pop it on all 4 edges of this little spine area. Exciting yesterday. My mum, since my dad passed last year, my mum's been talking about doing a cruise. She said her and Dad, although we went on a cruise together before he got sick, she said her and Dad used to always talk about when they next went on their cruise, they wanted a balcony cabin. Because when we went the first time, we just had your normal, obstructed view window, because we couldn't afford it. But anyway, we had a lovely time. But the only time we could see outside was when they moved the lifeboats to use them as little ferries. But anyway, so she said, Dad said, next time they had a cruise that he would get a balcony. So today we went to the travel agent and we booked her cruise. We're all going, well, her, me, and Steve and a friend of Mum's are going on our cruise together, and she's got herself her balcony. So she's quite excited. And Mum's not in the best of health herself, so she thought probably she better do it sooner rather than later. So, yes, very exciting. We're off to we leave from Sydney and we're going just to north. Well, not just, but we just headed up north to the just past Airlie Beach. If you know Australia, it goes up around the islands and then comes back down to Sydney. So that's what we're doing. But more importantly, she said she's got her balcony and she's going to sit there and drink wine and think of Dad, I assume, and wish he was there. But anyway, she got it and Dad would be pleased. Okay, so I've sealed that. As I said, I've popped the double-sided tape around that little spine area, sealed in the ribbon, so it's attached there to the double-sided tape, and then firmed it down. So here I am talking about cruises, and not actually concentrating on my crafting, but anyway, so I'm excited about that. Be nice to take her on her balcony, as long as she doesn't get too sad, but that's okay. We'll keep her busy. So for inside, I have a 3 3/4 inch piece of white cardstock just for our personal message. So there we are there. And we'll decorate the outside now. So the outside, I have just a little strip of Lost Lagoon cardstock and a circle of Lost Lagoon cardstock that I have cut using the stylish shape circles, just to pop them on the front. I just like that little bit of, breaks up the designer series paper a bit with that strip. You wouldn't have to. You could just leave it there. It's quite nice, but I think I like that little strip across, or a ribbon or something like that. Just breaks it up a wee bit. So I'm going to pop that on. Now, I went on at length yesterday about the joining offer that starts on the 3rd of October, so I won't go through that again today, since this was all supposed to be one video. But it is an awesome offer and it starts on the 3rd of October. So watch my Facebook page or yesterday's video if you're interested in details about that. So I've just popped that little strip. I think it's about 1/2 inch wide and 3 3/4 long. So I've popped that across. Then I'm going to pop our circle on, but I'm going to pop this circle onto some dimensionals, which I know I've got here somewhere. I don't want to start a new one. There they are. If you want to see the other card, if you haven't tuned into me before and you want to see part 1 of this video, it is on YouTube and it's also on Facebook. And I think I've actually put part 1 in the description. That's where we did the Joy Fold card. So, and as I say, unfortunately or fortunately, I got interrupted with a visitor. It was lovely to see, so I'm not complaining too much about that. So I've just popped that little circle on there with some dimensionals. Now I'm going to grab a scrap of white and we're going to do the sentiment. So the same sort of principle as that we did yesterday. I'm going to do the sentiment from the Heartfelt Hexagon stamp set. We used Let's Eat Cake yesterday, so I'm going to use Sending You Lots of Love and Hugs today. And rather than the double border, I'm going to use the single border there. So I've got them all locked up. So the border I will do in Poppy Parade, as I did yesterday. And the sentiment in Lost Lagoon. Oh, now, explaining that ribbon that I'm using is a soft, succulent, retired ribbon. I used a red one yesterday, a real red ribbon, but I've used that retired one today because I think it just goes so nicely with the Lost Lagoon. So it's actually soft, succulent from a couple of years ago. But, you know, we all need to use our stash, so I decided to use my stash. I thought you guys wouldn't hold it against me. So there we are there. I will punch it out with our very handy punch. I love punches. They are so handy and so quick, especially when I'm cutting lots of cards for card classes. I tend to use a lot of punches because these days I'm cutting upwards of 40, 45 kits a month, so plus. So it's nice to use a punch now and then that's nice and quick. You just go punch, 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 punch. So I'm just going to glue that little sentiment onto our circle. Just try and get it moderately straight and centre-ish. Here we are. I'll bring in the rest of that ribbon and I'll tie myself a bow. Just loved this ribbon. It was, I think it actually hung around for 2 years, which was nice, but came in all the in colours at the time, which was lovely. I think if you like something, keep using it. Don't waste it just because it's not current anymore. Trouble is, I can't sell this one to you, but chances are you've still got it in your stash as well. We've got our challenge of bow tying again. This is such a lovely ribbon for tying, but sometimes my fingers are all thumbs. One last go, Julianne. Ah, gotcha. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. There we are. Makes a lovely bow too. Just looks so sort of soft. So we'll just give that a bit of a trim. It's not my good scissors for ribbon. There we are. So there's our cute little bow. I love that one. And some bling. We're just going to use our iridescent gems as we did yesterday. And we'll pop those around. And then that is yesterday's video completely done, even though it's 2 parts. There we are. Pop one on either side of our little strip there. Just another one here. Here we are. And that'll do. And that's our bookbind card. There we are. Lovely and simple. So that's our 2 cards done, the ones that I meant to do yesterday in one video and had to do them separate. So we've got our joy fold here, which we did yesterday. So you can pop and watch that video separately if you like, and just the bookbind as well. So as I say, both of those cards I got out of 2 sheets of a 6x6 designer series paper. So there we are. So you want the 2 cards, 2 sheets. So there were bits left over, but it wasn't too bad. Little squares, I think. But yeah, so 2 cards out of the 2 sheets. Okay, so thanks for joining me for this little bit of a catch up. Just to get that out of the way. So this, as I say, part 2. As I say, if you are interested in that joining offer, please reach out and let me know. But otherwise, I will see you all again later this week. Okay,